Hi everyone. Welcome to RSB Healthcare Consulting. Best tips for providing resources for patient education. Offer a wide variety of patient resources. What do you want your patients to know? Certainly, they deserve information on common diagnoses and their causes. However, these resources don't need to be limited to treatment options and preventive measures. The more your patients understand your provider's practice and specialty, the better. Consider creating content that explains the why behind your policies and practice history in addition to medically focused materials. Also, be sure to broaden the channels on which you share content. In addition to putting pamphlets around the office, you should post them on your website or blog, maybe even disseminate them through a patient newsletter or social media page. The patient education resources you offer should speak to a number of topics pertinent to your practice and should be presented in many different ways. Provide easy-to-read content. Medical terminology should be avoided whenever possible. If it can't be avoided, then the terms should be carefully defined. For example, bedwetting should be used rather than enuresis. However, because there is no regular translation for rosacea, a handout on that topic should explain how to pronounce the word and what the condition involves. Your patient resources should demonstrate consistency in using terminology. Analogies, simple punctuation, contractions, and even slang are good if they enhance understanding. Especially when it comes to physical, take-home resources, such as brochures and pamphlets, you're simply providing a starting point for understanding. Patients will go home and do a lot more research on their own. Be sure to provide the baseline level knowledge that patients need to feel informed and empowered to learn more. Aim for the right audience. Creating effective content is all about knowing your audience. So obviously, your resources should align with who will be reading them. That's not just about readability by age or knowledge level and tone, it's also about the visuals and presentation. Make your resources look and feel like things your patients already read. For example, kids at the pediatrician office will respond better to drawings and animation, whereas seniors will appreciate large print. Across all materials and formats, keep your language simple, easy to read, and only comprised of must-know information. Ultimately, empowering patients with knowledge will help you earn and retain their long-term trust. Adapt to the patient's learning style. Not everyone learns the same way, and different learning styles mean your patient education resources should be presented in the manner best suited for the individual patient. This might be obvious in some situations. For example, plain, printed materials wouldn't work for a patient who is blind, but in most cases, the patient's learning style might not be as noticeable. This is why it's important to have resources available in a number of different mediums and technologies, so the patient can work with whichever methods resonate with them. Provide options for take-home content along the same lines as the medication schedule resource mentioned above. Patients can benefit tremendously from take-home content. By providing educational pamphlets, worksheets for them to fill out over a period of time, including links to digital content, and more, patients have more time to process the information given to them. The ultimate goal of your practice's patient education resources is to empower the patient through knowledge of their healthcare journey, and take-home material is an essential quality of that goal. Be sure to review all educational materials. This tip should hopefully be obvious, but it's worth reiterating. Before ordering dozens of brochures or circulating a PowerPoint presentation, be sure to proofread the content carefully. The text and material you present to your patients should be free from typos or grammatical errors, include the spell-check names of your practice and providers, feature an approachable formatting style, and more. These details help deliver the educational information you intend, rather than distract the patient from the purpose of the resource. Thank you for your time. Contact us to collaborate on our email info@rsbhealthcareconsulting.com or our website www.rsbhealthcareconsulting.com.